So we continue with the charity characters in Vilnius, and here is a unique plug. It was attached to this wall more than 100 years ago under the Russian rule. That's why it's written in Russian, and there is one phrase in Hebrew, Zichron Olam, in memory of. And this is in honor of Leib Meir Fegelson, who was one of the wealthiest Jews of Vilna, and he supported 4 charity organizations in this courtyard. One was Talmud Torah, the study house, one was a soup kitchen, one was a hospital, and elders' house. So 4 charity institutions supported by one wealthy person. So from Fegelson we move to Dvora-Ester, lived in Vilnius, 19th century, and she became one of the symbols of Jewish charity traditions in Lithuania. He was collecting alms, and she had 3 pockets. One pocket was to put money aside for poor brides. Another pocket was to buy food for those who are hungry now at this moment. And another one was for future cases of people in need for some financial support. By the end of the 19th century, Dvora-Ester was already a head of a charity organization, and she had an assistant who wrote a diary. And from this diary we know many interesting facts about the Jewish community of that period, and we know that about 80% of Vilna Jews, as he wrote, were sometimes in need, and he didn't want to write that they were poor, but he put it in a mild form. And we also know that the annual turnover was 60,000 rubles, which is a huge sum of money. If we want to compare it to nowadays currency, we must multiply, I think, almost by 100 here, so it's quite a lot of money. Dvora-Ester became a symbol of charity, and when there was a celebration of 75th anniversary of Dvora-Ester, there was a big feast in the concert hall, and she was sitting on a chair dressed in a nice dress, and she had a bucket of flowers on her knees, and she was looking at the ceremony, and she was listening to speeches, and there were people who knew her, there were people who didn't know her. And when she was offered to tell a word, Dvora-Ester didn't tell them anything. She threw the flowers away from the bucket. She was going through the crowd, collecting more alms to share it and to give it for charity. So this is our episode about Vilna and charity. At the beginning of the episode I told you that we'll have 3 characters. Actually, we spoke about many characters who were involved in the charity activities in Vilna, and not only because of the big number of poor people or people in need, but because Tzedakah is the right thing to do. One of my friends likes to say that tzaddik, it's not only the one who does right things, it's the one who helps others and loves others. Thank you for being with us on this episode about charity in Vilna Jewish community, mostly in the 19th century. One day we'll shoot an episode about charity nowadays. Thanks, and see you soon.